So the three types of worker for me are linear, which means you work for somebody else and that's how you get your income. You spend all your time working because we as black people make less on average. Um, and I'll get into that a little later. I want to go through all three before I get back to being linear. Entrepreneurial, you forge your own path, but you still have to show up to get paid. It's better than linear because it's still risky, but it might even be more time consuming than linear work. But it might also create more time because you cut out the middleman and you're working for yourself. So up time might be more, but you create more back end time if you do entrepreneurial correctly. And the investor, your resources work more for you than you work for your resources. And then you have income that will accumulate outside of your lifespan. And that's the other concept of lifespan that I need people to think about is to think outside your lifespan. So when I talk about linear work, right, I talk to a lot of people who talk about degrees and how it helps them make more money during their lifetime. But what I like to tell people about degrees is, yes, it shows how much time you spent perfecting a craft and becoming an expert at something, and there's nothing wrong with it having a degree. But what you can't do is give your son that degree when you die. All you get to do is die. So what you have to do is take positions that will give you resources out that accumulate outside of your lifespan. So what you have to do is buy a piece of property, have a collection, or have something that you will be able to give to your family or your kids, or anybody that you care about. Um, have investments, have stocks, have um, things that will accumulate without you having to be there. Because if you have to show up to do them, your family can't get them if something happens to you. That's why, like I said, life insurance, collections, investments, properties, whatever whatever collects money when you're not there. That's what you have to do. You have to leave a legacy. Music, that's also a legacy. Something that can, anything that'll pay you outside of anything residual that'll pay outside your lifespan. You have to think long-term positions and think outside your lifespan. You also have to take action. So the time that you're spending, and I'm gonna tell you about defining your time a little bit later on, but you have to take action and you have to move toward being an investor. Part of the reason why our children struggle so much as black people is that we start at zero or sometimes less than zero. We start at negative numbers because it costs money to come into the world. And when you don't have those people who thought outside their lifespan to bring you into the world, then you have to start off, they have to spend a lot more time away from you, and they don't spend time teaching you how to become an investor. They spend time teaching you how to be linear. And being linear is more expensive than anything in the world. Basically, being linear, if you're a slave. If you don't show up, you don't get paid. You have to pay to go to work because you got to buy your professional work clothes. You got to buy your car, or pay for your transportation to whatever place of work you got. If you got kids, now you got to pay for child care. Then you got your house bills, and then you got all your other personal little knickknacks and tidbits. And then when you look up, you live and check to check. And if you live and check to check, you don't have any savings. You are a slave. You have just worked for nothing. You literally just work for nothing because you didn't get anything out of it. You didn't put anything to the side